Hi, Dr. Gregory Hortney here. Thank you all for coming over to this channel. If you like the content, please give me a thumbs up. If you think the content is worthy to be shared, please be generous and share. Today, I want to talk to you about an interview that I did almost a year ago with legendary sprinter Veronica Campbell Brown. And I wanted to repost this interview because during the original interview, we had some technical difficulties. And as a result of that, I wanted to clean up the video and I wanted to make sure that when you listen and watch it, that you can enjoy it to the fullest. Veronica Campbell Brown has been a legend from start. She was highly successful from the high school days straight up to as a professional. She has won major championships at all levels. But the thing that impressed me the most was her mind and her ability to focus, to block out distractions, and to focus on the mission, her mission. And her mission was that she wanted to be great. So I want you to watch this interview. I want you to share your thoughts and opinion, and I want you to tell me exactly what you think about Veronica Campbell and her ability to perform under pressure. I thank you for your support over the years, and I wait to hear from you. Thank you very much. I am Dr. Gregory Horton. Have a blessed day. Good evening, everyone. Welcome again. Welcome one, welcome all. It is always a pleasure to be here to present some of the information that can help to make a difference in someone's life. And I can tell you, I don't know if anyone is more excited than I am, but I have been waiting for this interview for the longest time. I can tell you, this interview was requested by a lot of people, including myself, because I have always been a fan of this young lady. You know, I used to watch her run when I was running, and I was cheering so hard. She don't even know it. But today, I have the honor to speak to one of the best that ever did it. She's one of the world's most respected sprinters in the history of track and field. I'm talking about the 8-time Olympic medalist, 13-time world champion medalist, 5-time world champion, and 3-time Olympic champion. I am talking about none other than Veronica Campbell Brown. I'm going to bring her on stage now, and I am so excited about this interview. Hello, Veronica. How are you?
Hi, Dr. Greg. How are you? Nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
It
Hello
is
to all the viewers.
it is a pleasure to have you here. How is motherhood? Because I know it's a new experience for you, and you tell me, is it as expected, or you still figuring it out as you go along?
I had no idea motherhood was so challenging, and I am definitely still figuring out as I go. But it is fun. It is an amazing feeling to watch the kids grow up and just to see their different personalities. So it's going well. I'm enjoying it.
You said challenging. Give me some, because you're a speed merchant. You know, I know none of these kids can outrun you at any time. So give me an idea when you say challenging, so I can get into your world and see exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, any parent can attest to the challenges of raising, like the different personalities, the sleepless nights, and the preparation, the nurturing, and all that good stuff that we did not get a book on how to maneuver and navigate the parenting world. So that makes it challenging, but it also helps us to learn a lot because the children are like teachers. They teach me new stuff every day, and so it's a great challenge, one that I embrace, and looking forward to the continuous journey as they go and develop.
Well, one thing I can tell you, that within the next few years, a lot of people will be sitting on the sideline looking and hoping and cheering that these two will be the next Veronica Campbell Brown and Omar Brown, because look, a match made in heaven. We just have to wait, and I hope I am around to see your children take the track and see what is in store. Before we normally start the interview, Veronica, we always give the guest an opportunity to give a shout out to whoever they choose. You know, people who were close to them, people who they didn't get a chance to acknowledge. And I want to give you the opportunity to give a shout out to whomever you wish.
So I am not going to single out anyone by name because I don't want to miss anyone. There's a lot of people, but family members, my agent, my track and field agent, my former training partners, all my fans, colleagues, supporters, they know themselves. I want to thank you all for being in my corner, for supporting me over these years, and I will always appreciate your support.
Well said. Well said. Veronica, it is truly a pleasure to have you on this platform. I really thank you for gracing us with your presence. For all the people who are watching this live on this platform now and who will watch this at a later date, please tell us where in Jamaica were you born?
I was born in Clarkstown, Trelawney.
Trelawney.
Trelawney. I'm a country girl.
Well, a lot of people don't know that my family is also from Trelawney. My grandfather, he was born and raised in Troy, in a little district they call Lewis Hope. And my mother's side, she was from Wilson Run. People know it as Crown Land. So, you know,
Yeah.
I can say that I used to go to Trelawney every year to spend time with the great grand. So I think that maybe we might be distant cousins. We need to check it out.
You never know. And talking about Troy, I attended Troy Primary School, as you know. So I grew up in Warsaw, but I attended Troy Primary.
Okay. How far is Troy from Clarkstown?
I don't want to get the distance wrong because I don't know the exact miles, but it's good distance. It's yeah, it's not that close, but it was a fun journey.
What primary school did you attend?
Troy Primary.
Troy Primary.
Troy
Okay.
Primary.
So, okay. All right. I got that. You know, the other day I was talking to legendary Coach Mills, and he was saying to me that as a coach, he also had to be a mentor because a lot of times he find that the athletes who he was coaching, that they lack that structure in terms of male role models at home. And as a result, he had to be helping them find solutions to problems. And he find that the level of support that they needed, a lot of times they did not get that. Did you grow up with both parents in your home? And that is why I lead that way. And how many siblings do you have?
So I have a lot of siblings. So I have 9 in all, 5 brothers, 4 sisters. And it was, as you can tell, it was a fun journey because it was a lot of us. And although all of us did not live together because I have half brothers and half sisters, it was just fun to have all these different siblings to get to know and to challenge me and stuff like that. And so it was great. And my parents were really good role models. They were both farmers, and they taught us the value of hard work and give us chores to do. And that was very helpful in helping me be independent and hardworking.
What was life like? I want to get into your mind, and I want the audience to be able to see a young Veronica running around the place. What was life like for you growing up in Trelawney?
Just like any normal kids in the country, in the country, I like to race a lot, road race. So I used to race boys on the streets in my community, and it was like an exciting time for the neighbors to come out and watch. My parents were farmers, and so I enjoyed going to the fields, walk to school, go to the river, wash at the river, play in the river, all that fun stuff that kids like, especially when you're in the country. I got to enjoy and really love those aspects of that part of my life.
You know, one of the things I love when I went back to the country, Trelawney, is that the roast yam. You know, we usually have the roast yam and the roast corn and all those things. Most people don't know anything about that, but you did not need a lot of money in order to have fun. And when we would go to the river and we go draw water, people don't know that life. They think it's
Yeah.
boring, but I find that I can't replace that right now with my life.
Right.
Um, you said you run around often when you were younger. Who and what inspired you to really start running track?
I just had a natural love for running. And by racing boys on the street, I realized that I was talented because I used to beat a lot of them. And then while I was in primary school, Troy Primary, one of my teachers, Mr. Clayton Collins, he encouraged me to embark on track and field as a career because he saw my ability. And I took his advice very seriously and just continued to work hard and position myself to become a professional athlete.
So you used to beat the boys. uh, well, look, you have accomplished a whole lot. So I am sure some of those boys would understand that, look, this is Veronica Campbell. She is special. So if I was beaten by her, I can live with that. You eventually went to Veer Technical High School. How did that come about?
So because I wanted to pursue continue track and field, and I wanted to eventually get a scholarship and go pro, and at the time, there was one of the top schools, and so while at Troy Primary, I was introduced to Beer Technical High School, and so although it was far from home, I thought it was a good school to go to because I liked the history of it, and so that's why I ended up at Beer Technical High School by recommendation.
Okay.
And luckily, I got in, and
Okay.
it was
Well,
great.
I can tell you that for anyone moving from home to another parish can be very challenging. And I have a loaded question for you. Um, how much did you miss home? And I ask that question because my mother was from Chulani, and they say that Chulani women are the best cook ever in the island. I agree with that. So being away from home, missing mama cooking, they say mama cooking is the greatest. How did that affect you? The second question is I would like you to describe some of the experiences you had moving from Trelawney to attend Veer Technical High School in Clarendon, even though they're close to each other. And the third question I want you to answer for me is, did you fit in right away or was it rough fitting in?
So I did miss home because I had to live on the dorm, and so I did not get to go home often. And when I was at home, my I have my bigger sisters who would do a lot of things for me. When I got to there, then a lot of those things I had to do for myself, preparing myself for school and all that good stuff. But I think I fit in well. I find a great support team in the girls that I boarded on the dorm, and so the transition was easy. And as it relates to challenges that I face, it's just the normal hard work because you have to balance studies with training and get up early morning for training, get to class on time, and all that were part of the journey. And so, because I went to there with a focus, which was to do well in the classroom and on the track, and eventually work my way to a scholarship, then although I have challenges in terms of hard work and making sure I do well, I was able to manage it because I went in knowing that I had to put in the work to achieve my goals.
Okay. So it was always in your mind that the end game would be this. I want you to tell us because I know for me, even though I was fast, I did not believe a whole lot in myself at an early age. I knew I could run, but I didn't see myself, and I'm sure you may saw yourself being a champion. But in terms of you sitting and thinking and believing in yourself, can you remember when that actually occurred, when you really started to think and believe that I am Veronica Campbell and I think I can go all the way?
That was in primary school. from a very young age, I realized that I had the gift. I realized I was blessed and I needed to maximize my talent. And having the support of my teacher, as I mentioned earlier, who was in my corner and believed in my potential and pushed me to work towards achieving my goals and fulfilling my purpose really helped me. And so, as a young girl, I went to there with the ability to work hard and get a scholarship. And I also had the one of my goals was to win an individual Olympic gold medal. So all those were from an early age, and by having those high expectations for myself was really helpful in pushing me to work through the tough times.
Okay, makes sense. In 1997 to 2001, you dominated sprinting at the world junior level in both the 100 meters and the 200 meters. You won almost all major CAC, Carifta, World Youth, and World Junior title, with the exception of two. One of them was in 1999, the Port de France, and the other one was in the 200 meter, I think it was, in St. George's, Grenada. I would love to know who won those races, because I was trying to find it, but I couldn't find it. But the question I want to ask you, though, that when I was observing what you were doing then, because I was pretty close with some of the people in your corner, I saw that you were really on top of your game. But after putting everything together, the hard work, the dedication, and the commitment, some people talk the talk, but some people are not able to bring it forth on the track. How were you able to talk the talk and then execute on the track, winning so many medals at this level, with the exception of only two?
I think it was about being consistent in my training, consistent in listening to my coaches, consistent in believing in myself, and I go into my races with the intention to win. And even when I lose races, I brush myself off, get back to the drawing board, and still go to win the next race. So it was about being intentional, in believing in my ability and realize that God gave me a gift, and in order for me to really show appreciation for that gift, I had to work hard and to maximize it.
You said brush yourself off. I was playing a game the other day with a friend, and I was winning. I like to win, but sometimes I don't deal well with losing. I think about it for a long period of time, and if I am not careful, it can carry over into other games or other areas. When you say brush yourself off, do you feel like how I feel in terms of I'm upset when I lose, or I should just accept it for what it is and move forward?
Yes, I'm disappointed when I lose, but I do not dwell on it. I get over it quickly and move on and try to analyze why I lose and try to fix those things to help me to win in the next race. So it's always about trying to learn from my failures and my disappointment and work towards doing better next time. But of course, I don't like to lose. I'm competitive as you. It's our nature. We do sports. And so the objective is not to stay in a defeat state, so to speak, for a long time, just to find out, learn your lesson and move on and do better next time.
Makes sense. In 2000, you became the first Jamaican athlete to win the double in the 100 meters and the 200 meters at the World Junior Championship in Santiago, Chile. I want you to tell us in your own words, how significant were those two titles to you, and how heavy were the great expectations placed on your shoulders to deliver those two championships?
Actually, I don't think I was expected to win Santiago. I was not the favorite. And so I guess that was a surprise for many. But as I said before, I normally believe in my ability, and I went in the race to give it my all. And that's always my focus in all my races, to give it my best and prepare myself mentally and just do my best. And so it was an exciting time when I won. And that was a small team. It was just 12 of us, and we had such great unity, and it was just fun. And it didn't feel like it was competition, because we're just having so much fun with each other and just pushing each other to do well.
That is good. When you were at any of those junior championships, At any moment, did you have any doubt in your mind that you were meant to be here and that you could overcome and that you could win?
I always believe I can win. I think it's part of my innate ability to be positive. I do not think about the negative aspect of things, especially when it comes to competition, because I feel like if I go into a race and I tell myself that I cannot win, then I already defeat my chance of winning.
True,
And so I
true.
go into my races regardless of the times I have, regardless of the ranking, regardless of how well my competitors are doing. I tell myself that I'm able to step up to their standard and perform well, and I give myself all the chance I can to have a shot at win. And I think that has helped me over the years to go into races as underdog and still come out on top because of the way my mindset is.
That is the mind of a champion. In 2001, you were awarded the Austin Seeley Trophy for the most outstanding athlete of the 2001 Carifta Games after winning the 100 meters, the 200 meters, and the 4x100 meters. At that time, it was obvious to all that you were a cemented child track star. Things were on the high in terms of what was going on in your life. The acknowledgement of your accomplishment, in my opinion, and all those who were there, believed that it was well deserved. I want you to tell us how grateful you were for that level of recognition. And did it motivate you to want to be even greater in the future?
Absolutely. When we are recognized for our accomplishment, it does motivate us to want to continue because now it's like everyone is looking to you to do better. And so receiving the Austin Seeley Trophy was a very important time, was very appreciative that as a junior athlete, I was doing so well. And I think that stems from racing boys in Trelawney to go into Very Technical High School, one of the most competitive school, and have to work my way through all the fast girls that were there to make the teams and continue to take on people in the Caribbean and do well. And so by being recognized with that prestigious trophy was a good push for me to continue reaching for the top.
Motivation is important in the life of athletes. And I think even going back when Mr. Mills was talking about some of these young athletes who were struggling, I think they were struggling in a lot of ways because they did not get that motivation. The small things, even a pat on the shoulder sometimes. And when you win these awards, when you compare everybody with yourself, you see that this is something that can help you to move forward, especially when you're going through the droughts. In 2001, after you graduated from Veer Technical, you received a lucrative financial opportunity to become a professional out of high school, but you did not accept the offer. I was so happy when you did not accept it because I was talking and hoping that you would not, because we have seen what usually happens when high school athletes take the money early. Who and what made you decide to seek additional development overseas while furthering your college education?
My first objective was to get a scholarship. And in order for me to get the scholarship, I couldn't have accepted a contract out of high school because I would have, although I could have paid, but it would have been different. I wanted the experience of going through college, get my education, and just experience that level of my life. And so it was just part of my plan to go through the different steps as opposed to rushing to going pro. I thought I had time and there was no need for me to rush at that point.
That was a brilliant decision because when we look at the evidence now, it shows. And today, what we find that high school athletes are going straight to the pros with no additional development. And in your case, as I said before, I applaud that decision. And even today, I still hope that many of these young athletes would think about the college education because, as you said, the experience was important for you. The psychological and the physical, it was important for you. But here's the great thing. Within the first year at Barton College, you continue to excel in the sprints, where you set several records and won multiple indoor and outdoor national titles in the 60 meters, the 100 meters, and the 200 meters. For the spectators who only saw the results, but not the hard work and dedication and commitment that you put in all of this. I want you to tell us, what did you have to endure physically, emotionally, and psychologically to achieve those monumental achievements after high school?
So, no doubt, after leaving Jamaica to Kansas, the weather was different. And there was no indoor facility at Barton at the time. And so when it was cold, we had to train. And we had to prepare mentally to get out there and get our work, get our training done. And then, as in high school, you have to balance academics with with your training. And the objective is to do well in your classes, because if you don't pass your classes, if you don't have a certain grade, you cannot compete. So both of them have to go hand in hand. And so the challenge to push yourself, even when you're in an uncomfortable environment, for example, when it's colder than I used to growing up in the beautiful hot Jamaica. um, but all of those things made me stronger, because it tests my ability to perform under pressure and when I'm uncomfortable. And so Barton was a great experience. And the culture was awesome. It was a winning culture like I used to at Deer Technical High School. And I had great coaches, great teammates. There was a lot of Jamaicans at Barton. And so that helped with the transition and helped me to be successful in the classroom and on the track.
So you would say then that you are not a follower, you're more a leader based on your personality.
I would say so. I go based on my instinct, based on the things that I know that are right for me. And if someone is doing something that is great and I see that it can benefit me, yes, I could follow that. But I do not follow things that is not gonna be productive or gonna be beneficial to me. And so I think it's important for us to make sure that whenever we are making any decision, it is right for us, not because someone is doing it, but because it is right for us.
A lot of people may not understand the psychological impact of training in the cold, in a place like Kansas City. You know, it's how were you able to overcome those mental challenges to get up every day, to be out there day after day after day in the cold? What is your secret?
Definitely, some days I did not feel like training. But in those days when I did not feel like getting on the track, when I get up and push myself and go, I get some of my best results. And
Mm.
so it is important that we be consistent, because by having my goal in mind, that helped me to get over the laziness of mind, so to speak. Because a lot of time it's in the mind, it's not physical. We may be fine physically, but for whatever reason, we may feel like we don't want to get up. And sometimes we have to know how to push ourselves as we work towards our goals. So we're not always going to feel good. Things are not always going to be easy, but we have to just know that even when you don't feel like do it, push yourself and you'll be surprised at the result you can get.
Perfect. And this is a perfect opportunity to segue now into the next question, because after you completed your degree at the University of Arkansas with, must add, very impressive performances at the collegiate level where you got the experience, it was time to move to the professional level. The next question I want to ask you, Veronica, this is very dear to me because you were able to pull it off in terms of the transitioning. But as I was saying, in terms of the transitioning, things must be right. The coach must be right. The camp must be right. Funding must be right. How was your transition into the pros? Did you find it easy, or did you find it rougher than you thought it would be?
I think my transition was smooth. I went pro as a senior at the University of Arkansas, and that was the Athens Olympic game. I had a great management team, and I went to Athens, and I had a great Olympic Games. I won the 200 meters, bronze in the 100 meters, and the team, and I take home gold in the 4 by 100 meters relay. So it was the same level of challenge. It's about hard work, staying positive, staying mental focus, stay the course, put in the work, go out there and compete hard. So everything just transitioned from my collegiate days to pro. and I'm blessed to have had a successful career.
We have seen Veronica, and this is a very important. So if the athletes are watching, I want them to hear your response to this, because we have seen many Jamaican athletes struggle in terms of the higher phase of their athletic development. Generally speaking, I want you to give some of these younger athletes some tips on how to cope with the transitional process that many of them seem to be struggling with, and you seem to master it coming out of college.
You start with your mindset. You have to go into the transitional phase believing that you're capable. You have to go with a positive outcome. You have to have your goals and work towards them. You have to know that it's not always going to be easy. You're going to have ups and downs, and you have to make sure that you stay strong. You have to work hard, and you have to have the right type of people in your corner. People who have your best interest at heart, who can help you make the right decisions to do well.
I think somebody don't want us to finish up this interview, but we're going to finish it up tonight. So be patient with us. She said that she's having some internet issues and she's not sure. But if you listen to what she's saying it is important to have the right mindset going into the transitioning process. You can't always do what you feel, and you will hear she talks about making the sacrifice. One of the things I love, you heard she mention team. You must have a team of people who can help you to see things clearer, because when you don't have the knowledge and the experience, chances are you are going to struggle when it comes to making decisions. So I want you to listen carefully, because Veronica is one of few who made the transition successfully from amateur to the professionals. But she said something that was important. She said that the reason she did not go straight into the professional out of high school, because she wanted the experience. The experience is important, because it's not just the physical experience that she's talking about. She's talking about the social experience where she's able to interact. You heard she talk about running and training in the cold, and she had to push herself in the cold. Those things are absolutely important in the making of a champion. You're back. Thanks again. And we are patient, so don't worry about it. We will get through. Yes. So you were giving us some tips in terms of the transition process, and you were saying that it started out with the right mindset, and you must have the right mindset going in, and don't just try to develop the right mindset while you're there. Please continue. I want to hear.
So it starts with having the right mindset, and that mindset has to be carried through, because if you go in believing you can win, and not because you lose a race, you're going to believe that you're not a winner anymore. You're going to win, you're going to lose. And the objective is to have a consistent, positive mindset, believing in your ability, regardless of the challenges you face. And you also need a group of supportive, like-minded individuals to help you make the right decision and encourage you when you're feeling down, and be consistent with training and sleeping and taking care of your body, and know that it's not going to be easy, because nothing that is of great value is easy. You have to put in the work and just continue working towards your goals.
Makes sense. I totally agree with that. Mindset is the key. In 2004, you stepped on the track, and we could say you were a professional, not fully, but you were getting there, but you represent your country in the 100-meter. One of the things I could say, that when we look at all the athletes that day, you went out there and you made a strong statement in the final, securing third place, gracing the Olympic podium in Athens, Greece. I want you to tell us the significance of that medal that you won. And I also want you to tell us the things that you learned from that race that made you a better athlete going forward.
That was a very interesting race. Nescoranco won that race, and I remember racing early semifinals and realized that was a big mistake. And so that's one thing I learned. The objective is to get to the finals. So which eventually, which luckily I did, and I made the podium. So it was a blessing. But that was a great start to the Athens Olympic Games, and then it ended beautifully with Aileen Sharon, Kenya, and myself securing the gold medal for Jamaica in the 4x1.
Hmm. You see, I've seen it all the time in a Veronica with my mother would say young but don't know storm. People will understand what that means, but eh, this is why the experience is important, because if you're not learning and picking up the tips along the way, you're going to continue to make the same mistakes, because I've seen people do it time and time again where they race in the semifinals and by the time they get to the final, they have nothing left. So I appreciate you sharing that with us. The following year, though, in 2005, in Helsinki, Finland, at the World Championship, you captured the silver medal in the 100 meter, where without a doubt we could say you arrived, you're a top-notch sprinter, and you were determined to make your mark regardless of what anybody would say. I'm saying that to say that sometimes doubt plays a detrimental role in a sprinter's mind. Were there any doubt in your mind before the race regarding stepping on the podium? And if so, how did you go about overcoming that mindset?
To be honest, I never go into any competition or any championship doubting my ability to make the podium, because that is the point. That is the main objective, to get on top of the podium. And if I fall short at the top, I hope to get silver or bronze. And so my mindset is always to um, do what I need to do to focus mentally on my races and put myself in a good position to make the podium. So I by keeping that mindset, it keep doubt out.
So you're saying to us that you never had doubt to the point where you just feel like you want to give up.
No, I never feel like I want to give up. Sometimes I feel like I don't want to run 400 meters. I'd rather do 300 or 250 training. I did not like the lactic burner of the 400 meters when I do it in training or asked to do it in competition. But I loved track and field. I had a passion for it. As a young girl, I discovered my talent. I realized that God has blessed me with it, and I realized that I had to nurture my talent and do well. And by having doubt, that would stop me from really progressing the way I wanted to. And so I stay positive and I work hard. I listen to my coaches. I work on my technique. I try to get better with my start and all that good stuff that could help me get to the podium. And I think I have. I think I have gotten to the podium in every championship I've competed in. So that's a blessing. And it goes to show how powerful our mind is, because sometimes you may not be at your best, but by just believing in yourself, that helps you to really pull energy from inside that you did not know you really have.
You know, I asked you that question because sometimes you can look at an athlete and you can see the doubt, you can see the fear. And you're saying, well, I'm saying to myself that the purpose is to come to this championship or this championship and to perform at your best. So why are you coming with doubt? And I used to find that some people, the aim was to make the team. Where for me, I wanted to to get a medal. For you, you wanted to get a medal, and you can see the difference in the mental approach when you want this, you determine that you're going to get it, than when you're just here to make up numbers. For champions like yourself, and we can say that with confidence that you are indeed a champion. Persistence is the name of the game when you hunt for gold medals, because I know we don't go out there saying we're going to hunt for silver and hunt for bronze. If we have a bad day, we take what we have. In 2007, you won your first world championship title in the 100 meter in Osaka, Japan. I want you to tell us about the level of preparation that you had to endure. What were some of the sacrifices you had to make going into that championship, which enabled you to come out victorious?
Being consistent, train hard, well, I guess I wouldn't consider those sacrifice, because it is just it was my job, and as part of the job, it was to make sure that I put myself in a great position to do well. But that was a very interesting race, as you can see. If you remember the finish,
Mhm.
it was a very determined run. Lauren and I went on the line. It was so hard for them to differentiate who was the winner. For I won. It was so close, and so it was a very determined run. And again, it comes back to me believing in myself and wanting it so badly that I pushed myself, and I got that very good lean that we're able to get the gold medal over Lauren.
Mm. Hey, a win is a win, whether it's 1/100 of a second. The history is here to speak about your performances, and we can go back in time and we can see who you are. And I know that I'm proud of you based on what you did for Jamaica. And at times, we have to go back a little backward to proceed forward with clarity of past event. Because I'm saying that to say that when I look at what you were doing during that time, I could tell that you were on top of the world. You made history by becoming the first Jamaican athlete to win the back-to-back double in the 200 meters, taking home golds from the Olympics. The first time you did it was in 2004. The second time you did it was in 2008. With such a stacked field as you talk about in both Olympics, coupled with the people's expectation regarding your performance, I want you to answer this question for me because I know you're a superwoman, but I want you to think about it. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, what level of pressure were you feeling? Because I can tell you this, sometimes when I was out there, my legs feel numb. I have to do everything to get my mind focused. What level of pressure were you feeling, and how confident were you that you would secure the goal again?
It was a challenging one, as you know. I finished fourth at the Jamaican trials in the 100 meters, and then I put myself in a better position in the rounds, and I made it in the 200. I won 200 meters at the trials and go on to Beijing to defend my title. And so when it comes to pressure, I embrace it. I think it's necessary. It's necessary to have some level of pressure. I put pressure on myself, the pressure to win, the pressure to execute well, the pressure to run a great time. And those really help me to do well. And so if my colleagues, my coaches, my parents expect great things of me, I don't really see it as pressure. I see it as belief in my ability. And so um, and so that's why it's hard to put a number on it, because to me pressure is normal. We do need pressure. We just have to control how we deal with it. I feel nervous, but I'm able to turn that nervousness into energy and use it to my advantage versus let the nervousness feel like fear. And so without pressure we'll be complacent. And
Mhm.
so we just have to find a way to embrace it and just to use it to help us to work towards our goals.
You said, and I want you to give me detail now. You said that in 2008, after finishing fourth, disappointing fourth for you, you were still able to brush it off, move forward. But for me, I want to know, I want to see in your mind, because you were able to brush it off and quickly recover, not to win bronze, not to win silver, but to win the goal in the 200. I want to know your strategy, man. What was the strategy in terms of brushing off such a disappointing performance to you? And a lot of us were disappointed too. But tell me the secret. I want to know.
Well, so the 100 meters is a different race. I knew that my defeat was not lack of preparation, it was execution. I knew that I was in good shape. I knew that I had 24 hours to regroup and get back to the field, to the track to start my 200 meters round. And so I had to quickly put the 100 meters appointed behind me because it was over. There, I could not do anything else to rerun the race or to make the team. That was that. And I had the 200 meters in front of me. So I had to let go of the 100 meters so that I could hold on tightly to the opportunity of making the team to go and defend my title. And so it's about analyzing the disappointment, let it go, take the lessons from it, and move on. and work towards what's next, because we cannot control the past. So it makes no sense to dwell in the past. Take the good from the past, leave the rest, and move forward. And that's what I did.
Excellent. And I hope some of the young athletes are listening to this because, as I said, they might get like me at my younger age. I don't want to lose, and it carries over. It's not about that. It's about believing in yourself, accept things that you can't change, and then you go out and change things that you can. There was another historic moment in your life and in your career. At the 2008 Olympic, the opening ceremony, you were selected to carry the national flag during the athletes parade. For all the onlookers, included myself, and in all honesty, I want you to describe the feeling you had leading out the team, representing your country on such a momentous occasion.
It was an absolutely um, honorable moment. Was extremely honored to have been given that opportunity, because of all the great Jamaican athletes that were on the team, and we're loaded with talent and well accomplished athletes. For me to be selected at that point to carry the Jamaican flag is something that I always hold dear to my heart. And it was an absolute honor to do so, to lead my team. And we had a fantastic Olympic Games. So that even filled my heart with more joy to be part of that awesome team.
You deserved it. Your performance proved that you deserved it. I am one of them who believe that we need to give athletes their flowers now and don't wait for later. And I know that you have people sometimes they are not willing to recognize and because more than anyone else, Veronica, the hard work, the commitment, the dedication, sometimes the lonely nights that you stay up trying to figure out and analyze in order to get back on track. And I think that it is important that we recognize our athletes now instead of waiting for them to pass on. In 2010 and 2011, you won back-to-back world indoor titles in the 60 meters. The first one was in Doha, Qatar, and the second was in Istanbul, Turkey. I want the youth them to understand that to be at that highest level is not about physical fitness alone. It's a race split second where you have to stay focused to execute the 60 meter. How do you go about maintaining that high level of penetrating focus? And the second part of the question is, what were your mindset going into both of those championships?
To maintain your level of focus, you have to first of all have a strategy and believe in yourself. It all come back to the way we think, because the mind is so powerful, and if you believe you can do it, you're gonna work towards it. You're gonna find ways to improve your start, or to get 8 hours of sleep, or to make sure that you pass up on the fast food or the ice cream and stuff like that. When you have that goal in front of you, that helps you to focus well and put you in a better position to really accomplish your goals. And so the 60 meters, as I mentioned, it is one of those races that need extra focus, because it is like this. The reaction has to be on point, the execution has to be really good in order to overshadow it. And because of my ability to really zone in on the task at hand and being tunnel vision, I was able to go into the championship knowing that I had a great challenge, especially my last world championship was in Istanbul, where one of my competitors ran 6:98 seconds. And so that gave me so much more strength, because I realized that, the bar is high. I had to set my game up. I had to make sure that my start was good, my reaction was good. I had to make sure that I was in a mentally good place to really execute. And so having high level of focus on the task at hand and then putting in the work and believing in yourself are some of the ingredients to really do well. And that is for anything. It's not just sports. It's for anything in life.
Yes. Well, you see, a lot of times, and I've said this all the time, that if you look on a horse, the asset is its legs. A bird, the asset is its wings. And in your case, we can see the beautiful mind in terms of how it look at life, in terms of getting the results. And I've always said before, over and over, that if we're going to make real champions in Jamaica, we got to teach them what you know. the mental preparation, the determination, and you said it, the commitment, the discipline, the ability to push things, put things off in terms of, and I can't think on this all day. I have to solve the problem and I have to move on. In between those indoor championships, you you went out in 2011 and you performed well. Great. In fact, I would say you struck gold once again. Here is where you won the first championship title in the 200 meter in Daegu, South Korea. I was watching the race and I saw that when you did it, you could see some relief, like you're saying, yes, God, you know, I did it. I did it. Eventually, I did it. In your own words, what was the driving force that helped you to stay so disciplined, to stay so committed, so you could produce consistent performance on the big stage?
Yeah. My consistency is a result of my desire to wanting to push myself to see how well I could maximize my talent. And like I was overjoyed with the victory in Daegu because I had it on my agenda. I wanted to win the 200 meters at the World Championships ever since. I won the 100 meters in 2007. And that was the moment. That was the moment when it was my time. And I was happy that I seized the moment and ended up being pushed by a great field of talented ladies and end up victorious. And so it's always a great feeling when we set goals and we work hard and we see the result materialize in front of us. It's like it was worth it. All the everything that you've been through, all the early training, all the giving up of the junk food or the staying up late, all those things, you feel that yes, it was well worth it when you accomplish your goals.
So when you went through the line and you were letting go, tell me what went through your mind that moment.
I was giving God thanks because I also know that my ability to do well, to compete, to have longevity in track and field, it's is the foundation because he's the one who created me, give me the talent, and helped me to be mentally strong. And part of my mental strength come from my spiritual background. I grew up in a church, and from day one, my mother instilled in me the ability of hard work and faith, and that's what I grew up around. And so, it become my foundation to make sure that okay, I know where my strength come from, and so I give God the glory for all my accomplishments every time I cross the line.
You talk about longevity. We have some young people here watching, and some will come later on and watch. I want you to share with us your strategy that you use in terms of pulling off great performances over the years and how you were able to stay relevant and your longevity seem like it would never end. Could you tell us, could you tell them what were your strategies?
You have to stay determined or stay hungry, if I want to put it a different way, to do well. You have to start each season with your goals, and then you have to let your coach know what your goals are. So you and your coach or your team work together towards that goal. Like your agent should know what you want to accomplish. Therefore, he can organize the races so that you put yourself in a better position to get in shape. So it's a team effort, and it starts with knowing exactly what you want. And each season, you analyze the results, set new goals, and keep working towards them. And by doing that, you're focusing on the short-term goals as you look forward to the long-term goals each season. That will help you stay consistent on your path to success.
I hope you young athletes are listening, because in order to be great, it's more than just the physical. There are a lot of things that you have to do in order to have longevity and to stay consistent. Looking back at your career, do you have any regrets, any at all? And if so, what are they and why?
I don't have any regrets per se. I have disappointment, setbacks. It wasn't smooth. It was like up and down, but that's anything in life. And the low points of my career make me a stronger person, and so I embrace all of it. And so I think I had a satisfactory career. I'm grateful for all that I were able to accomplish, and I'm just thankful. I'm just thankful for everything to come from Trelawney to the top of the world, from a family that was not affluent, to being someone that a young girl or a young boy can look at and say, "She did it, so can I?" Is a blessing, and I'm grateful for that.
Appreciate you sharing these things with us. Two more questions, I'll let you out. You have been through a lot of ups and downs, as you say, regardless of the career, you're always going to have ups and downs. But what would you say is the most important lesson you have learned that you applied on and off the track?
The most important lesson, and as you said, it's not just track related, just life lessons. There is always a solution, and you will have challenges, but your challenges are there to make you better. There's a great plan in store for you. If you do not accomplish your goals now, that doesn't mean that you should give up. You have to be consistent, be realistic about the things that you want to achieve, and continue to work at them. And gratitude, being grateful for what you have, and just have a positive mindset. I know life can be hard. There's a lot of stuff going on around us that will let us be negative, and our minds are susceptible to negative feelings. So we have to be strong enough to dismiss those negative thoughts and think positive about our lives, and just be happy, and be grateful about all that we have, and continue to work towards being the best version of yourself.
Makes sense. You have won a lot of races, a lot of medals, 13 World Championship medals. You have 8 Olympic medals. You have 5 world titles. Share with us the 3 most significant accomplishments you hold dear to your heart.
You know, everything that I accomplish, I consider significant. But if I'm supposed to, it's kind of hard for me because track and field is a great part of my life, and now being a mother is also another great journey. And so I'm just overall grateful for all my journeys, from my opportunity to go to one of the best high school in Jamaica, to get in scholarship and over here in the US and run track here, and then go on to professional and track and field, and have almost 20 years of running and achieved so much. And then now I'm a mother and a wife, and raising our 2 kids with Omar, who's my high school sweetheart, and um just just trying to be a good role model, good example for them. It's just all that I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for all the blessing that God has put in my life, and all the people that I have in Jamaica and other parts of the world were always supporting me, and a lot of them are still in my corner rooting for me. I'm just grateful for family, friends. So it's just so much to be grateful for. So much.
You well, I'm going to give you the last question, and then we're going to kind of wrap up, and I'm going to reiterate some of the things that I said earlier, because I want you to talk a little bit about your book and stuff. But what would you like others, the world, your Jamaican family, to know about Veronica Campbell Brown that they do not already know about you?
I think I'm not sure if there's anything that
You can find something. You're from
that,
Jelani.
that haven't been said. I am, I guess they know this. I'm a very positive person. I'm a very grateful person. A country girl. I enjoy all things Jamaican. Food, from the roast yam to the mango to the all that. So I'm just very down to earth. When I was running track and field, a lot of people think I was mean because I was serious for the most part, because I was zoning. But if you get to know me, all my family and friends will tell you I'm a very caring, compassionate, um, God fearing person. And I just love humanity. I try my best to let people around me feel good and feel welcome. And I think those who really follow me closely and who know me by meeting me on the street and stuff would realize that they always feel welcome when they connect with me. So,
Appreciate you sharing that. You have a book, Activate the Power Within You. Could you share with the audience what this book is about and how it can help them on their journey, regardless of what career they may choose?
Right. So activate the power within you is as exactly as the title says. Within us, we have the power to achieve anything we want in life. And so when you are positive, when you set goals, when you have faith, when you believe in your ability, when you put your trust in the higher power, your creator God, and put in the work, you can realize stuff, powerful stuff you can achieve that you did not even know that you have within you. So activate the power within you by being consistent with positivity and just continue to believe and continue to work out towards your goals. Because no matter your circumstances, no matter where you're starting from, there are room for you, and there is room for you, and you can do well. Just activate that power that God put in front of you, put inside of you.
Where can they get this book to purchase?
It's available on Amazon. So you can go straight to Amazon, you can type in my name or the title of the book to search for it, or you can find the book by navigating through my website as well.
So I am speaking on behalf of Veronica now that if you guys get the book, I will make sure that she signed those books. Okay, is that a deal? Is that a deal?
That would
Also,
be hard to coordinate though, because to send the book to me, and yeah, so it's kind of hard. So hopefully get the book, and we may cross paths someday, and then there'll be opportunity to sign it. Like if I'm somewhere and you know that I'll be there, you can show up and sign and stuff like that. But
you have some apparels. Could you tell some of the ladies who are watching now what are some of the benefits to getting your apparels? Because I watch you, I see you on the internet, I see you do your thing. I don't know if it's the apparels or what it is, but how can they benefit from the vcbfit.com and get your apparel? Tell us a
so
little bit about that.
yeah. So VCB Fit was launched in 2020, and the whole purpose is to encourage and empower women to live an active life. And so our products are flexible, they're comfortable, they're stylish, and they're meant to motivate you to live an active life, because we know how important it is for us to move. You don't have to come from a track and field background or a sport background. It's about making sure that you are living an overall active life. And if that means walking, our gears is equipped for that. And if it means going on a run or even cycling, whatever, our gears is equipped for that. So it's about empowering women to live active, healthy lives. And we're offering products to make it easy, because you need something comfortable to work out in.
Thank you very much. You hear that? Go out, support Veronica Campbell Brown. She is one of our heroes. She has done great. She has made us laugh. She had made us cry. We cried together when she won her medal. So I am saying, if you really appreciate what she has done, go out there and get that book, The Power Within You. And also you can go to vcbfit.com to get those apparel. Last word for you, Veronica. Is there anything else you want to say before you go?
I just want to say thank you all for tuning in with us tonight. Thank you all for your support over the years. And I just want to wish everyone an excellent rest of the 2023, which seems to be coming to an end quickly. Enjoy these last weeks that we have, and stay positive. I know there's a lot going on in the world right now, and all we can do is just pray for our sisters and brothers and just continue to realize that regardless of what we're going through, we can lean on God for the strength we need to get through.
Amen. Thank you very much, Veronica Campbell Brown, for blessing us with your presence. I wish you all the best in all you do, and may God continue to bless and keep your family and yourself safe. Thank again for coming out. God bless you.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys, there it goes. I would say like the video, share the video. You see, sometimes we are in the presence of greatness and we don't seem to understand what people has been through in order to be great. And I appreciate Veronica taking the time to be here with us. And I hope that as you go through the information in this, that you will see the mindset that you must have in order to become the best version of yourself. I thank you all for coming out. I appreciate your support, and I will try my very best with my team to produce valuable content. The next interview we have is Danielle Williams. She has done great things over the years. I want to get into her mind as well to see how she was able to repeat her performance with that time span. So I wish you all the best. Thanks again for coming out. If this is your first time, please subscribe to the channel. If you have anyone that you want to be a part of this interview, please do not hesitate. Reach out and we will see if we can make it happen. Thank you all again. May God continue to bless and keep you all safe.